Hey, Tim Molina. Hey, Brian. Guys, I finally got to get back out. Rain finally stopped. Uh, our lakes are up, but it is a muddy mess. So, this is one of the few places I can get to on this lake because it's got a blacktop road. So, we're going to give it a shot and see. Hey, bottom feeders. I haven't got to get out and fish in almost 3 weeks. We've had storms, rain, 30 and 40-mile-an-hour winds. Uh, it's been pretty bad. So I figured I'd come to this spot out because I knew I could get here. We got a creek channel that comes through, runs all the way back into this creek back here. This is shallow water, and a lot of the times you'll catch them up in here feeding. Hey, Big No Bunch. Uh, right over here behind me is a rock bridge where all the crappie like to come up in and spawn. And got a couple of crappie fishermen over there right now. Uh, 351 Cleveland, welcome. Yeah, Brian, this is the first day I've had sunshine, and I can't remember how long. Uh, like I say, this is the first time I've been able to get out and fish since Easter. Our weather has just been terrible. Hey, Georgia, I've got some. I got a live bluegill out there, guys. Because, like I say, this is a creek channel that comes through here, and got a bridge with the creek channel coming through it with some rocks. There's lots of stumps and trees out in the water. Y'all probably can't see them, but they're here. Uh, hey, Fishaholic. So I'm hoping we might catch a hungry flathead cruising up in here. But I've got live bluegill out on one, and I've got cut bluegill on two others. And my wife didn't come fishing with me today, so I used one of her rods and threw some Danny King's punch bait out to see if there's any channel cat or anything floating up in the area. Uh, I've got my cast net, so I'm seeing some carp and stuff move up in here. If they get close enough to the bank, I may get my cast net and try and catch some. I'd like to have some shad, but if I catch a carp, uh, I'm going to use it for bait. I've been wanting to get some carp and try it out. I've seen all my DC guys, Has, Fishing Magician, Chunky, uh, DMV. Uh, I've seen a lot of them guys up there. You got the Baltimore Angler, DC Metro. I know a lot of them guys will use carp for catfish bait. So I'm going to try it down here. I've never used carp before, but I'm going to give it a shot. I know Fins and Fowl is going to be out later today on the same lake. I talked with him earlier, and he has used the carp. He used it down there on Texoma, and he said it did work down there. So I'm excited to be out and be fishing. It's been so long since I got to get out. I may not catch anything, but it's still better than sitting at the house. Uh, we don't have a lot of wind today, which is very rare for Oklahoma. Hey, Catfish Camera, it's muddy, Cameron. This red clay, you can, even down here where I'm walking, I'm slipping and sliding. So if I have to get to them rods pretty quick, we might end up with a blooper reel because I might end up slipping. This is one of the few places I could get to, and without getting stuck. Hey, JB, we're going to try and catch some tomorrow, hopefully. Well, good luck, Brian. I'm going to try it today. We got north winds, which I really don't like fishing the north wind, but like I said, I've been trapped at home and haven't been able to fish in so long. Uh, I just want to get out and fish. I got some good spots I want to go to, chasing the big flathead down here. But right now, the entrances into them are all red clay and it's so muddy, I won't be able to get back down in there. One thing, the lake level is up. It's kind of come up into some of this grass, and I believe that's carp what I'm seeing playing down there. So they keep that up. We may try and catch one in the cast net. Yeah, bottom feeders, that wind, that's what we've been fighting here. The wind, the rain. We've had tornadoes and hail and all kinds of rain and storms and 30 and 40-mile-an-hour winds. It's been awful. They say we've got more rain and stuff that could move in Saturday. So I'm trying to get out and get it while I can. Hey, Big Hook. At this point in time, I'm not even really concerned about the size of the fish. I just want to catch some fish. Looks like we might be getting a bite, guys. Looks like that punch bait rod I stuck out with that Danny King's punch bait on it. Got a couple little pecks on it. It's actually my wife's rod, but I switched out one of my rods for her rod. It's already got the treble hook and everything on it. And since she didn't come fishing with me, I'd really like to catch one on her rod so I could show it to her later. Hey, Big Slim. I'm really wanting to try that fresh carp for bait, though. Uh, we found a spot yesterday uh, in the rain, but it had tons of carp in it, and they were just busting the banks all around the edges and stuff. And may go back and try and see if we can get some of them to bite. Because I'm not against using new things, guys. I've never used carp before, but I know I've seen it work up with the DC guys, and I'm going to give it a shot. Because shad down here, shad is the best bait you can use on this lake, but it's hard to come by right now. I threw a couple of times before I threw my rods out, thinking maybe they might be up in here in this grass and stuff now that the water's up. But I didn't catch nothing there either. That's got a big old perch head on it, big hook. I got cut bluegill on 2 rods. The third rod has got a live bluegill on it, and the fourth rod over here is the punch bait. I've caught lots of fish here before during the summer. Uh, I hooked into a really good one, and it come unbuttoned this year here already. So, but I'm hoping with these creeks coming in, this fresh water coming in, this backwater cove and stuff, and plus you got the crappie pulled up in here starting to spawn. So a lot of times them fish will come up in here and feed on them smaller crappie and stuff. So I'm kind of hoping the bait in this area and the new water will make these fish active even with the north wind. I would love to get my first flathead of the year out of the way. Yeah, Fishing Magician, he was on them fish yesterday. Uh, DMV, I believe, is going on tonight, and it's going to be close. It's going to be a good tournament. Uh, Mark was tearing it up yesterday. Them fish gave him a workout too. He was just sweating. Has didn't do bad either. Uh, DC Metro, I think, had the roughest night out of all of them. Has did good. Uh, Fishing Magician come up after him and just tore it up. Hey, Fish Hunt Trap Repeat. Hey, straight to the point. Welcome. Yeah, we definitely got something playing with that rod. The way that fish is playing with it and just keeps pecking at it, I can almost guarantee that's a channel cat. Guys, I see some movement over here. Give me a second. I'm going to take my cast net over here real quick, throw it a couple of times, and see if there's any shad up in there. I'm going to make a couple of tosses over here. I really want to catch some fresh shad. No shad, but I'm gonna keep my net handy just in case. Hey, Randall, welcome. Fool out here playing in the mud already. Already got stuck. He's still bumping that rod. That's kind of embarrassing. If that's all my truck would do with muddy tires and stuff, and that's the best burnout I could get, I don't think I'd waste my time. Boat come through earlier. He went way back up where this creek dumps in. I can see him floating around back there. I don't know if he's doing any good or not. This area of the lake we're fishing today, guys, is called Walker Creek. It's a little secondary creek that dumps in. The primary creeks that feed this are Little Beaver and Big Beaver. But it's so muddy, there's no way I could even get over there. Fresh raw shrimp will catch any fish. Yeah, big hook. I've seen them caught on shrimp. Springtime, when the rains are up, the creek's up. This time of year, man, I like crawdads. Crawdads do good too, but I haven't been out to catch any crawdads or anything. So I had some bluegill frozen in the freezer, and I'm gonna try them out. Yeah, Brian. Sounded like he was doing 100 and he was sitting still. And when you power break one like he tried to do, and you got muddy tires and stuff. You don't get a better burnout than that. That's pretty sad. I've seen lots of catfish caught on shrimp, crawdads. I've caught them on goldfish in this lake. Man, there's times to where redworms, just earthworms, uh, especially when the lake's up like this and up into this flooded grass. Uh, man, you can get out there with redworms and kill them. Yeah, catfish Cameron. There's definitely soft shell turtles and snapping turtles here. I know I'm ready to see a rod go off. That little punch bait, they're just pecking at it. If that's all they do is peck at it like that, I'll end up switching it out and put another piece of perch out. I got a pretty good sized bluegill, live bluegill on that one. So if it goes down, we ought to have a good one. I've got the upgraded, went to a little bit bigger hook on that. It's a 10-aught hook from Uncle Lou's, but it's a really big hook with a wide gap. And I like them wide gap hooks for live bait. We've got channel cats, blue cats, and flatheads all in this same lake. And you can tell by the way they bite. The channel cats will sit there and peck more. Uh, the blue cats here will just lay the rod over. I don't even care. Channel cat can bite, blue cat can bite, whatever bites today, I'll be excited and happy to catch it. I haven't fished in so long. And crappie fishermen that were fishing over here, back down here beside me, and got off the rock, and he got stuck, had to kick it in 4-wheel drive to get out. What gets most people, they don't use common sense, man. This red clay, when it gets wet, you can forget about it. A lot of the access roads to this lake got shut down for that very reason. People were coming out here and they think they were mudding, and they'd get out there and get stuck. You'd have to get tractors and stuff down in there to get them out. And they got tired of it, so they just started blocking some of the roads off because people ain't got enough sense to stay out of there when it's wet. Hey, Johnny, no luck yet. We haven't been at it that long. I'm waiting for it to dry up. I want to take y'all to this spot. It's great for flathead. The big blues come up in there too, but it's got huge, huge rocks in the water, and they congregate up around them rocks. They'll make their holes up under them, and I like to go over there and get on at least a 40. My wife swears by liver, but I know in the lakes over there around the house, they catch them on it. But man, that liver is just too hard to keep on the hook. Uh, I don't like messing with the liver, and you just can't keep it on the hook. All right, Johnny, thanks for stopping by. Hey, Christopher. Yeah, I'm glad I finally got out too. It's been 3 weeks. Kind of sucks. We've had so much rain and so many storms, and I've got lakes over there 10 minutes from my house, but they're not catfish lakes. So in between storms, like even in a little bit of rain, we'd go out there and try, and you can catch bass and crappie, and they got saugeye and stuff like that, but they just don't have the catfish population. Uh, they're restocking all those lakes, but I don't think catfish are one of them. We just had a little peck on that rod. Which I'm using pretty good sized baits today, guys, but a 5 pound catfish, if he wants that bait, he'll have no trouble getting it in his mouth. I've actually caught fish that weren't even hooked. The bait was so big, got stuck in their mouth, and I'd reel them all the way into the bank and land them, and the hook wasn't even in them. You just have to pry the bait out; it'd get wedged in their mouth. Hey, Dan, no luck yet, brother, but I'm trying. Uh, Finally got out. Weather finally broke a little bit, so I'm gonna get out and enjoy it. They say we got a chance for more rain from Saturday till next Tuesday, so I definitely want to take advantage of today, even though it's north winds. But we're just making sure if there's a hungry fish out there, we got bait out there for him. Randy, was it last night that you changed your name? I noticed it went from Randall to Randy. All right, straight to the point later. Garlic chicken gizzards, Larry Oliver. Yeah, uh, I've tried the chicken here, and so far, last year, uh, I didn't catch anything on it. I'm gonna try. I may try chicken again later in the year as it warms up, but so far I've yet to catch one on the chicken, and I know it catches fish. I see it all the time, but for some reason these fish here just do not like the chicken. Using a new bait now, Dan. Man, I'd like to be using some fresh cut shad if I could find them. I left my net out in case anything starts popping up in here. Steak. I'd have never thought about using steak. I don't know. I like food too much to be fishing with it. One thing about it though, Dan, I guess if the fish don't bite, you can always fire up your little buddy heater or something and cook it. It's pouring right there in San Antonio, Christopher. Yeah, I figure that's the storms that are moving up this way, but hopefully not. I would like to see it dry out a little bit. It has really sucked the last 3 weeks here. You either got storms and hail and tornadoes and rain, or 30 and 40-mile-an-hour winds, and man, you can't video in that. Here in Oklahoma, very seldom do you get days where the wind's under 20 mile an hour, so it's kind of nice right now. Stays on the hook good, Dan? Yeah, I need to get some more worms. Go back to the place me and my wife found yesterday. Uh, it was just loaded with carp, and we tried corn. They didn't like it. She had caught a couple on the worms. Uh, so we're gonna take some worms out there and try and get some fresh carp for bait. I watched Haz's video on how he cut them up and filleted them. Yeah, Dan's in Oklahoma City, and I'm about 2 hours south of him. I'm just north of Red River. Uh, right now, this lake where I'm fishing, I'm probably 30 to 45 minutes from the Texas state line. Want to try and get things moved around and get the weather lined out. Uh, really want to make a trip down to Texoma. It's only a couple-hour drive for me down there one way. I'd like to go down there and try and get on the spring catfish bite there at Texoma. I know it has lots of good catfish in it too. Yeah, Brian, Fishing Magician and them, a lot of them guys up there use carp. They swear by it. It's hard to get off the hook, and they've had great success with it. You can't argue with success. Well, good luck, Dan. If you get out and go fishing, I hope you catch some. I know Lee Evans, he's doing better. Uh, really bad, unfortunate accident. But I'm glad that Lee's doing better. Big Hook, there's still giant catfish in Red River. It's hard to get access to now. Most of it's got private land on both sides, but in the spring when the creeks flood, it'll bring them catfish up out of the Red River up them creeks, and I'll go over there and fish them creeks, and you can catch a lot of big catfish. Hey, one blue's better than no fish at all, Dan. Just keep after them. Back in my younger day, I noodled Red River a lot, and we had great success. Yeah, Big Hook. There's some monster flatheads and stuff down there. Big blues as well. I love them flat. Excuse me. I love them flathead. Them flatheads have so much power when they fight. Brian Forest, it's really not that bad. I done it a lot when I was younger, but I don't do it anymore. My lungs and my health are so bad. I don't mess with it. Oh, guys, I see some fish hitting. I'm gonna go throw the net real quick. Maybe I'll get lucky. I sure would like to have some fresh shad. Every once in a while, I can see a shad hit. They're real scattered. Uh, Wish it'd come in here thicker. Christopher, it's not that bad, man. Doing lives, just get on there and be yourself. UT Kayak Boys, how you doing? Just be yourself and have fun. A lot of people put a lot too much stress on themselves. They focus on having to catch fish and having to catch fish, and some of the best lives you don't even catch fish. That's part of fishing. 3+1, what's up? Hey, Fins and Fowl. You finally make it to the lake? Three plus one, not yet. Fins and Fowl is on the same body of water. Uh, looks like he finally made it to the boat ramp. Hey, TX Tiger. It's a little bit windy, Fins and Fowl, but not as bad as normal. It ain't no 20 to 30 mile an hour. There's a boat over here by me, Fins and Fowl, already in the back of these coves. Uh, he's out of the wind. Got that fresh water coming in. I don't know if he's doing any good or not. Brian, this is a lake. It's Eureka Lake in southern Oklahoma. Dyslexic Anger. Hey, Reese. We got a guy pulling down in here fixing to launch his boat. How's it going? No. No. I've seen a few shad, one here and one there, but it's just a little far between. Yeah. No luck though. No. I keep waiting for them to pull up into these shallows. I've been having good luck on the other side, but man, it's too damn muddy to try and drive out there. Oh yeah. Another consider guy back here, he comes in way back up in here. He's way up in the back. Yeah, I don't know if they're doing any good or not, but I figure with that fresh water, something coming out of that, it might be spot on. Yeah, little beaver and big beaver come in over there. My car is too. This is just too. That road in the water there. I like to just sit there, but there's no way I'm going back to that. Good luck, fellas. I hope y'all get on some. Yeah, the dad's been really scared. I've got a live bluegill on one and cut bluegill on the other. I've even thrown some punch bait out there. Yeah. I think that crab is kind of dirty. Well, I figure maybe late at night or early in the morning before the sun comes up. I may go over and try and get this called loose boat man. A lot of times the boat man that altitude stuff on it, you set them up in there, but hell, during the day, they're just non-existent. They're having a hard time getting this boat off the trailer. Singing right on that roller. There they go. Hey, Chuck. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I'm glad to be out. It's been a long time. I know 3 weeks might not sound like a lot to everybody else, but man, 3 weeks without fishing is cruel and unusual punishment for me. Hoping we'll get lucky. Maybe they'll come up in here feeding. Tomato plants and use the tomato worms for bait. Never tried that. Good luck, guys. They finally got the boat launched. They're ready to go. Right now, unless you're using chicken, Cameron, chicken is about the only bait that seems to be readily available at the moment. The bluegills have been hit and miss. Shad have been almost non-existent. For the first time this year in Oklahoma, our lakes froze and we had that big shad kill, and it may have done a number on them. So I'm looking at carp and alternative baits. These young guys that just launched their boat, they're on their second boat for today. They had one out. We're trying to run up the mouth of the creeks over on the main lake, and their starter went out on the boat. So they come back, got a smaller boat, and they're going to come over here and try the smaller creek. They're out there throwing a cast net now. Maybe they'll get lucky and catch some in that deep channel. It's nice to see young guys like that out fishing. They're probably in their early 20s, guys. Instead of out there getting into trouble and doing stupid stuff, they're out here fishing. I like to see that. Got a guy just walk down the rocks to crappie fish. They're coming to park their vehicle. Yeah, catfish, Cameron, that's what Has said. Once you cut it up, he was saying cut the head off the carp and stick it in the bag with it and let that head bleed out into the meat. 3+1, exactly. All my kids grew up, and they're having kids of their own now. So me and the wife take the grandbabies out and get them into it. I'll take anybody fishing. They don't have to be my kids. I love getting people out, getting them introduced to the outdoors. Guys, with all that water and rain we had, I was figured the fish bite might be a little bit better, but so far these fish are not wanting to cooperate. Really isn't where I like to fish, but I don't have much choice with all the mud. He's allergic to fish, Georgia? I love watching kids, really anybody, catch fish. Uh, if they have a love for the sport and they have excitement and they're excited to be out there fishing when they catch a fish, I get just as excited as they do. Exactly, Christopher. Hey, Stan. Yeah, Stan, I'm not sure what's up with YouTube. Sometimes I get notifications, sometimes I don't. And a lot of times when I first log on, I'll see stuff on my home screen for YouTube that I never even got notified for. And I have to go back and rewatch everything. What time is DMV going live today? Does anybody know? Chris, Coastal Fishing, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Going at 6. I want to try and be home and watch that. Here comes another boat. Shouldn't be a problem because if the bite's this slow, I'll have no problem being home at 6 o'clock. We'll probably get lots of boat traffic up in here today. People trying to get out and escape that wind. One rod had a couple little taps on it at stink bait. My wife's rod. I think I'm fixing to reel that in, cut me up another perch and throw out there. Well, guys, it's not a skunk. I told you that was probably a little channel cat that was pecking on that. What a little bitty feller. Little bitty tiny blue, guys. The only good thing about that, I caught it on my wife's pole because she didn't come with me today. Think I'll bait it back out and throw it back out there. He's lucky because if I was DMV, that would have been bait. All right, I'm back, guys. JV, it was this little bitty one. Uh, it sat there and just barely bumped at that bait and ended up hooking itself. Ricky's Fishing Adventures, thanks for joining. Uh, what I did is I put my wife's rod with the punch bait out on this side, moved it over. Since that's the only thing I've had a bite on, we're going to try a different section, see if we can get a little bigger one. And I went ahead and put some fresh perch out over here where that punch bait was. Hey, Valerie. Wasn't a great big fish, guys, but yeah, I caught a small one. Uh, Best thing about that fish was my wife did not come with me, and I caught that on her rod. She wanted to do laundry and stuff around the house. Hey, Matt. Oh, physical therapy is not fun, Matt. Anytime, Valerie. I see you in a lot of channels. I see you in the UK channels as well. Yes, Dan. The lakes we go to over there close to the house are literally like 10 minutes from my house. They're not good for catfish. The catfish are few and far in between, but you can go over there and catch crappie and bass. And there are some small catfish in there, just not in numbers. They're supposed to be restocking them. Uh, I wish they would restock more catfish instead of the bass and stuff, but that Lake Humphreys there at Duncan. Hey, no real loss, Evan. Uh, the lakes over there have got some great catfish habitat. They just had not been taken care of for years and years and got outfished. And they really need to restock them to get them replenished. Starting to see some carp jump up in here. I hate to catch one of them in my cast net because I know they will wreak havoc on that brand new cast net. But fresh bait is fresh bait. Sacrifices sometimes have to be made. Yeah, no real loss. I hope people get more into the CPR and don't just keep everything they catch. Uh, there's no telling how many pounds of fish go to waste in freezers every year that people just never intend to eat. It's okay to keep enough to eat, and but try and take care of the water and make sure that resource is there for the other generation. You know, back when I was a kid, those Duncan Lakes around my house were great fisheries, but you don't take care of a place for 20 years, it does not take long to deplete it. JB's leaving, time to catch another one. I'm ready, guys. That fish was so small, he didn't even fight coming in. It was like reeling in a stick or something. Exactly, no real loss. I eat the fish. I don't keep anything over 10 pounds, but I do eat fish. Love to eat fish, catfish, crappie, walleye. Uh, Even the bluegill are good eating, guys. I'm I'm just getting into the crappie fishing and stuff again, guys. Normally I strictly catfish, but I've always used live bait, and I'm trying to get into using jigs and stuff. And it's definitely a learning experience. Can't tell if that's bugs or little bait fish over there on the water. Hold on a second, guys. I'm going to take my net and go over here real quick. There sure would boost my confidence if I could catch some fresh shad. No luck. I see some carp over there, but they're staying just out of cast net range. Hey, Chris, Hooks and Hammock, how you doing? There was one little bitty catfish over here that was hungry. Maybe we'll find some more. The way it bit, I thought it was a little channel cat, but it turned out to be a little bitty blue. It was just so small. It had to work to get that treble hook in its mouth. Hey, Adam. Thanks for stopping by. Never had bluegill, Christopher? We used to take them bluegill and smoke them with lemon. Oh, they're good. I know these fish got to stay away out of the range of that cast net because whatever we're going to get, we're going to use. Even here in Oklahoma, where I'm at, uh, crappie are illegal to use. You've never eaten bluegills either, Dan? Actually, bluegill fishing, I think, is probably one of my wife's favorite fishing because you just throw it out there, and about the time it hits the water, they're on it. She doesn't care what she catches as long as she's catching. She would sit there and catch carp all day just for the fight. Put a little bit smaller piece of perch on that one rod, that last rod I threw out. That way, maybe if there's some smaller ones in here. Your wife would rather catch the smaller panfish, yeah. My wife's not so much on crappie. It's the way they bite. They bite so soft. She doesn't like the way they bite. All you feel is that tick. Yours just likes to watch and plays on the phone. Yeah, my wife, I got lucky. She likes to catch fish. Let me put it that way. If the fish are not biting, she'll be playing on her phone too. My wife gets frustrated at me because she likes fishing the lakes close to the house because in between the rain and the storms, we can go out there. We can be on the water in 10 minutes. And they have bass and crappie and stuff, but you just don't have the catfish. So I don't like going there because I want to catch catfish and I don't want to catch one. I like to catch numbers. When the bite's on and you're out here fishing on this lake, when the fish are biting, they may not all be big, but there is no reason you should not be able to come out here and catch 20 fish in a day easy. I'm gonna give y'all a little secret. 90% of your catfishing success, or any fishing for that matter, is going to be location. You got to be where the fish are. Uh, that's like today. This is really not where I wanted to be. I'd like to have been over where the creeks are coming in, that fresh water's coming in, but I can't get to those areas because of the mud and the clay. So I chose to come here just so I could fish and get some lines in the water. But location is key, guys. Uh, you got to start patterning your fish. Know what areas they're in at certain times of the year, what water depth, what triggers them. Uh, you may fish a place one time and not get anything, and you may go back to that same spot later and just slay them. It all depends on location and timing. Timing is very important too, guys. Should have brought a cork and some worms. Bet these are carp working this bank. I think my wife may have left some of her corn in the car where she was trying to catch carp. I was hoping the bite would be better than this, but at least I'm out. Well, guys, looks like it's going to be a slow bite. Fish are starting to pop a little bit more. Maybe they'll get active, even though that's the wrong species. It's not what we're fishing for, but probably carp or them little hybrid or sand bass. I'm just glad to be back out. Nice to be out fishing again instead of locked up with the weather. Hey, P. Smitty. P. City. Man, you have been on them flatheads lately. As soon as it dries out here to where I can get to some of the flathead spots, I'm going to chase me some flathead too. I got a live bluegill out there today, but this is not really where I wanted to fish, but it's one of the only areas I can get to. We've had so much rain, everything's just a muddy mess. The bite has been slow. It's pretty calm this morning. We had hardly any wind, but Benson Powell decided to bring his boat out, and he's fishing the same body of water that I am, and I think he brought the wind with him. Guys, is the wind getting bad on the video? It's blowing out here on me, so I don't know if y'all can hear it. There are little fish all over up in here. I don't know what they are. And they're hugging that bank. I could catch them in a dip net easier than I could the cast net. Hey, George Ray, welcome. Ooh, got a little bit of cloud cover, went in front of that sun, and it feels good. Tomorrow, the fishing should be better. The wind should be out of the south instead of the north. But like I say, we got a chance of rain again from Saturday till next Tuesday. Today was the only day they said no. Hey, Has. Guys, for those of y'all that don't know, Has Life, Mark Fishing Magician, uh, Chunky, DC Metro, and DMV have all been doing a tournament. And DMV goes on tonight. He's the last one, but they have really been killing the fish on the Potomac River. They have been catching the fire out of them. DC Metro kind of had a rough time, but has come out, set the bar high, and Fishing Magician come out yesterday and just smoked them. And it'd be interesting to see what DMV does tonight. If y'all are not subscribed to DMV Whisker Kings, you need to. Same with Has Life and the Fishing Magician. I love watching those guys. Has and them are the ones that gave me the idea to use carp. And I watched his video yesterday on how he fillets his carp and puts the carp head in the bag with the meat, lets it bleed in there. And I'm going to try it down here. Kind of a salute to all my DC fishing YouTube brothers. I know it works up there, so I'm going to try it down here. Yeah, it has been a great tournament. It's been a lot of fun for us to watch. Which Chunky and DC had the hardest time as far as fish numbers. And then you come on and just went nuts and were on the fish. And same thing with Fishing Magician yesterday. He come out, stepped up, and was on the fish. So it's going to be interesting to see what DMV does tonight. I keep waiting to see one of y'all pull out one of them big ones. Especially little Mark Fishing Magician. You never know. He'll be out there and he'll be like, what? 40 pounds, 60 pounds. He gets on them fish. He earned every bit of it yesterday, though. Them fish had him sweating. Hey, Chunky. Guys, if there is anybody in here that is not subscribed to Chunky, you have no idea what you're missing. You've got to go check Chunky out. Chunky, that 7 fish was not bad. It kept everything going. There was action. I mean, there's times you may be out there 6 hours and couldn't get a bite. So 7 fish was not bad. It was great to watch with all the lights and the glowing rods. And I mean, whether you catch fish or not, Chunky, it's always a pleasure and enjoyable to watch you. And I really appreciate everything you do and all you go through to put the show on for us guys. And that's all you YouTube guys. It takes a lot of work getting out there and getting set up and getting your channel up and running. And we really do appreciate it. Hey, Bobcat. I'm kind of like you, Chunky. I'm beat up and banged up. I have to have spots that I can get to easily to where I can have access to. I'm not like Has and DMV and going on a 4-mile hike and Man, I'd be dead before I got there. I remember the first time Has took TJ, his brother, with him. Uh, took him down that steep hill and stuff. They about killed TJ. Chunky is a blast. I love watching him. Uh, always positive. He's always got energy. Uh, my wife is a huge fan of Chunky. Uh, his laugh, he's entertaining to watch, and to watch him get up when a fish bites, he shoots out of that chair like a rocket. He does not waste no time getting to them rods. I promise. Yeah, when he kicks the chair, yeah, Chunky don't mess around. That rod goes down. He's headed for that rod. And it's really great right now because we have enough YouTubers out there and enough people going live and these tournaments and stuff that I don't even watch TV no more. Uh, all I do is watch my YouTube, and I can go on there just about any time during the day, and someone will post a video or someone will be live. I've got entertainment to watch, and it's really great. Yeah, Chunky and them, just like Steve Douglas, man, they really paved the way, and we're reaping the benefits for it. Like I say, I can watch fishing now almost 24/7, and it wasn't like that. When I was a kid growing up, if you wanted to watch fishing, you had to wait till Saturday morning. And there was only certain hours for part of the day you could watch fishing, and it may not even been catfishing. It was usually bass fishing or crappie, but it was fishing. And now we can go on the live streams and YouTube channels, and there's content for us to watch, and it's great. Yep, Chunky is the king of bling. The job he does with the lights and the rods, and it's just awesome. Hey, live stream fishing's very addicting, isn't it, Chunky? Touch my finger. Yeah, that's Chunky's line right there. Everyone has a saying they're known for, and has got his sweet doggy. Chunky's got touch his finger. Uh, DMV's got booty cheeks. Mark the fishing magician, he's always like, "Yeah, baby." Bobcat, I've only caught one little bitty blue. Uh, actually, he caught himself. He sat there and pecked at it and pecked at it and pecked at it till he hooked himself. The bite's been really slow. Fishing UK Glasgow, welcome. Yeah, the bite's really slow. We've got north winds, but we have had storms for so long. The lakes are up. Uh, but this was my chance to get out and go fishing the first nice day we had, and I haven't been in 3 weeks. So north wind or not, I was coming to the lake. I was going to fish. I'm limited on spots because it's so muddy. We've got all that red clay. There's very few places you can access on these lakes around here. They're not gravel or blacktop paved roads. It's all dirt and red clay. And for those of y'all that know about red clay, it just takes a little bit of moisture for that stuff to get really, really slick. Well, I see some shad flopping way out there. He just hit the water a couple of times, but too far for the cast net. He's about 60 yards out there. Well, guys, we've been on here for a while and fish just aren't biting and stuff. So I won't keep y'all guys any longer. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. I appreciate it. And pretty soon, if this rain holds off, we don't get no more, it'll dry out. And we'll be able to get out and do some more fishing. And I'll take y'all and show y'all some more spots. Uh, got one spot that's really great for flathead. I kind of want to show y'all, and kind of helps you know what to look for on your bodies of water. So I love y'all guys. I thank everyone for stopping in, and I appreciate it. And we will catch y'all on the next one.